Well, it is my very first interview of the summer split. I just got off a plane, so I'm wearing a t-shirt, not as nicely dressed as I normally is. As Stixxay pointed out before the start of this thing, how's it going, Stixxay?
I'm pretty good. How about you, Travis?
I'm doing well, except for now I feel self-conscious because I don't have even a button up on. No, let's talk a little bit about first off your leadoff game. So lost one, won two, could have won two and then not lost the other one. That would have been better. But how do you feel about CLG's first show on the stage here?
I feel pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's kind of hard to say since this is our first roster change we've had in almost 2 years. Yeah. And we've been having really good results in scrims, but it's really hard to tell on stage because everyone's going to act differently, everyone's going to play differently on stage. Typically, people in LCS will play a lot more scared and stuff, so we're not sure if, all these advantages we get are going to happen in LCS that we get in scrims. So it's hard to really tell until you do play on stage, but I would say definitely for our first set, I'm pretty happy with the results.
Okay, I want to dive right in to the Dardoch situation, okay? So Dardoch, I love Dardoch. I think he is such a great addition to the NALCS. Like, he's very outspoken, great native North American jungle talent, but a little concerned because 3 or 4 months ago I interviewed Noah, and he's like, we made this 3-year-long commitment to Dardoch. Then he's suddenly off the team and on another team. Yep. So tell me why I should not be concerned about Dardoch.
I don't know. I kind of feel for him because in his past he's always had rookie teammates who have to be taught how to play the game at a competitive level. He's always had people who don't speak English very well. On Immortals he had Flame who didn't speak English very well, and I think Ollie, I don't know if he was good at English, but anyways, so he's just always had these things that have kind of frustrated him from past teams. And I think CLG is the first team where he's had everyone speaks English, everyone communicates really really well. And he never had that before. His previous teammates just didn't really do it as well as we do. And I think it's a different thing for him. He doesn't have to do everything like he felt like he used to have to. Now it's us doing the stuff, and he just has to figure out what's the right decision for him. So yeah, I think CLG is definitely the best team to foster him. So
I mean, I was a little skeptical about CLG being the best team to foster because I feel like you guys are the friendly dudes that kind of get along with each other and it's all great, whereas I feel like Dardoch, his reputation doesn't imply that. In fact, Doublelift was removed and you stepped up onto the team because people were frustrated with Doublelift and felt like he was a little too toxic on the team or whatever. Yeah. So I'm just kind of surprised to hear because I'm just a little worried that he won't mesh with all the personalities, right? Whereas opposed to a TSM or something like that, where there's a little bit more aggro personalities, maybe they do better. But you're not worried about that.
I mean, not really, because I think everyone, the second Josh came to the house and started scrimming with us and stuff, everyone just instantly clicked. Everyone got along, and obviously there's gonna be little blips of hey, don't do this anymore. This, we don't really like this type of attitude. And I mean, it was even like that for me too when I first joined. So CLG just has the type of people, Zach, Tony, even every single person on the team will tell you to you need to back down because we're not just gonna take bullshit. Yeah. And so people will just tell you straight up. So I mean, yeah, everyone's really friendly with each other, but we're also not scared to confront others and just kind of tell them what's on the front of our mind.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, talk to me a little bit about how, besides any kind of personality clashes or anything, how has the addition to Dardoch affected the team, or the addition of Dardoch affected the team and play style and all that stuff?
Dardoch is a very proactive player. He's really vocal, and we almost had we had to kind of figure out what was best for us in terms of how to work our communication as a team, because before it was every single lane communicated stuff. Okay, and then Smithy would have to, we'd tell, hey, come here now, do this stuff like that. So we'd kind of pull him around. But Dardoch doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be pulled around everywhere. He wants to be able to make his own decision. So basically the lanes will communicate information, and then Dardoch will make his own decision instead of being pulled everywhere. He just brings a different mindset to the team, a lot more playmaking. He wants to just always go in and fight. Whereas before I felt we had less forms of engage, I guess, because people just were kind of scared to go in when, I don't know, when the time was right to fight. So Dardoch is always looking for new ways to just engage and creative things to do, and it's just definitely a different mindset. Yeah. So I would say it's pretty nice and kind of remotivate everyone to keep playing. So.
Okay, so I'd love to ask you about this thing that I saw where for, I think it was 2 weeks, you guys were at a sports academy, sports training facility. Yep. At one point in time, I saw Afro walk into like a cryo freezer.
Yeah.
Explain to me how Afro in a cryo freezer makes him a better League of Legends player.
I mean, that's one we're still trying to figure out. But it was like
Are you playing a Nivea or what cryo brand or whatever anytime soon?
We all just called it Lissandra ult.
Okay.
Right, all right, I'm getting Lissandra ulted this morning. So, no, Sports Academy was definitely like a really cool experience. I think the mindset I kind of went into it with was like, okay, I don't really know if this is going to help me.
What was it? Sorry, for those that don't know, what?
Okay.
Like you went into this thing. Can you describe it a little bit?
Yeah. So Sports Academy is basically a huge facility where a ton of like NCAA pros, or I don't know if they're called pros, whatever. They train there all the time. They train a lot of the NFL teams, and so it's really just this huge facility. They have like a ton of equipment, like the crowd chamber you said. They have like, God, they just have the randomest machines that you could think of, and so like, you can just try everything there.
Sure.
And we pretty much went there. We stayed like in an Airbnb nearby. It's around like Thousand Oaks area.
Okay.
So, yeah, we stayed nearby for around 2 weeks. We were there pretty much 9 a.m. to midnight every single day. It was pretty long days there. But yeah, it was definitely a fun experience.
Yeah.
So.
Were you guys scrimming like? Because again, when you talk to me about that, it sounds like this is like a physical, like training facility. Like you're going to come out a better physical athlete. It's hard for me to understand where the benefit is for somebody who's playing video games.
Okay. I guess I forgot to go on that point. So. Sure. The reason we went there is because they built a esports place. They want to also incorporate esports into their training facilities, and so they have a huge like LAN room now. They had separate rooms for the teams that want to come as well, so it's not like in the public, So yeah, we pretty much scrimmed in like this really nice room. All the setup was super nice. Computers all just amazing, like top tier. So yeah, that's like their new thing they're trying to do is just have like esports as well. So
that's cool. Yeah. And what real world effect do you think it had on you guys as a team? Like, are you better prepared for it? Were they able to figure out how to make Dardoch, a little bit more sedated? Like, how did this work?
I think just with the addition of Dardoch, it was really helpful for us to do that because, I mean, you're spending all of your time with your teammates throughout those 2 weeks. We didn't have any off time. We're just scrimming. We're spending time watching movies as a team. We're always together, so everyone gets really friendly and gets to know each other really well. Obviously, the other four knew each other, but Dardoch really got to know who we are and make him just feel comfortable with us. Forgot, what was the other question?
Just generally, like, what effect do you think it had? Like, you guys won today.
Oh, right.
Was any of that win attributable to the Sports Academy stuff that you did?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I think almost all of our training before, minus like 1 week of training before, was all at the bootcamp. Yeah. And we pretty much like found our foundation as a team, like styles we want to play, obviously champion picks, stuff like that. So it was pretty much all done at that bootcamp.
All right, I know we're going a little bit long, but if I can squeeze in this one question, because there's so much to catch up on. I'm going to ask this question, I think, to every pro that I interview this weekend. I expect 80 to 90% of them to say, I don't care, I don't know, or anything like that. But Players Association just got announced as being something that Riot's going to help put together, and then the players kind of take over. Do you have an opinion? Do you have a stance? Like, any thoughts at all? I know a lot of players don't care about this stuff, but maybe you do.
Yeah, I don't care, Travis.
All right, there we go.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think it's actually really good for players. It gives us more, like, I guess it feels more legitimate when you have, like, a Players Association. It's not all just up to, like, I guess Riot for, like, competitive rulings and stuff like that. Yeah. So having a Players Association just makes it feel more real, I guess. It's not ruled by, like, one person. So we have people to fall back on. So.
Cool. And what was your reaction when you found out about it?
It's pretty cool. It was definitely surprising to me because that was just something wasn't expected happen. And it's also really cool that Riot is completely funding it by themselves, simply to help the players, nothing for their own benefit. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
Very cool. Well, is there anything you would like to say to any of the CLG fans who are like, all right, well, last split was not like those other splits, but maybe this split?
Well, I think this is definitely our split to finally just kind of become like a top NA team again. I feel like we didn't do a good job of that like last summer and last spring. Even though we tried our hardest, we just weren't able to do it. So with this roster, though, I think we're definitely going to do our best. So thank you guys for always rooting for us.
Stixxay, it is always so good to catch up with you. Thank you so much. I do like the new tattoo. I don't know if that's permanent. We'll just assume it is. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports here at Yahoo Esports.